Well, howdy ho, guys. Welcome into the stream. I've been trying to get things set up properly, and I'm never going to be happy with how that all looks, but that's life. We'll make it work. Let me zoom my face cam out a wee bit, because needs must and all that. Needs must. If it'll let me. If it'll let me. It's trying to auto zoom back in. Good. Come on, you can do this. There we go, that'll work. That'll work. Anyway, hi guys, welcome in. I said we were going to be sporadic this week, and we are. So that's what we're doing. We are back with Millwall, doing some journeying. Got a game against Birmingham coming up, which is lovely. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a day today of the old streamy bobs. So I'm going to be live for about 2 hours doing this. Then I'm going to take a little break, make some dinner, and then I am going to come back later with a special surprise guest for some retro, which is nice. So we're all good. We're going to have a good time and all that. So that's always fun. Yeah, looking pretty strong. Let me just make sure I've got Discordy stuff happening. Otherwise, I'll get confused. I mean, not that I'm not permanently confused, but you know how it goes. Good, right, there we go. Happy days, got that all set up, everything there. Liam, welcome. Yes, early stream. How are you, mate? I'm good, thank you very much. Yeah, first of at least two today, I would say, of streams. So the plan is we're going to do FM for a couple of hours, lovely couple of hours of the old FM, and then when we're done with a lovely couple of hours of the, I didn't read that at all. When we're done with a couple of lovely hours of the FM, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, make some dinner and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll be back on later. My sister's going to join us for some retro, and she's going to, share blockbuster knowledge or whatever. It's going to be a great time. We're all going to have a great time is what's going to happen. So good times all around. Tactically, I was going with that, wasn't I? That's why they're in that order. Blair Sturrock's very bad as a right-sided inside forward, which I guess makes sense somehow. Why does it want him there? I don't know. I don't know why it wants Blair Sturrock there, but it does. There shouldn't be a role he can't do there. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Either way, we'll be fine as I try and get used to the setup here, because it's all a bit very different. But I will make it work somehow, some way, and good times will be had all round is the plan. Waiting for a work permit for Renell, which I suspect he's not going to get, if I'm honest. Suspect he's not going to get it. He didn't play at all for me last season because he didn't fit, and although he's got the potential, I don't know if he's going to be the guy somehow, but there we go. We'll figure that all out together, I suppose, is the plan. Just thinking, is the microphone loud enough? It should be. Yeah, I think that's up as far as it normally is. Good. Alright, so mentoring groups need attention, so do your thing. Good work, Dave. Ben, that's his name, Ben. Right, let's go. Let's get ready for our first game. How long am I here? A few days is the plan. Probably till the end of the week, I would guess. But yeah, I mean her craft room. Officially, it's the craft room. It's the spare bedroom. Just all set up and ready to do things. I've been working on the book, and I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff around her house, and yeah, and then I'm cooking dinner later. And like I said, my sister's going to come around. She's going to play some retro with us because she did the video store life, and I thought she'd find it fun. I think you guys will find her fun. She's quite funny as my sister, so certainly more entertaining than I am. How did he get a work permit? He hasn't played. I've so many questions, probably because he's on loan. Let's just go and play Birmingham, shall we? Let's go play the Birmingham. They'll be our first adventure. And hopefully a good one. Birmingham, then Palace, then Grimsby somehow in the Championship. So that's a good start. So a lovely start to the day. Hopefully we'll get some points on the board because the season didn't start brilliantly. You're outside, you can take connection as bad as me. Connection, it's fine. It's fine. Benny, welcome in. How are we? You need more coffee. I'm not surprised. It is ungodly early in your part of the world. So, I say ungodly early. It's like 9 AM. I can maths. See, I told you I could maths. Just. But how are you, Benny? How's life? How's the small addiction to commissioning artwork going? Do you need to find a bigger house for all of the digital artwork? Winding them down, good. Because you were in danger of having to get like a whole server farm installed and all that stuff. Just collect all of the world's digital art. See, now you've got to turn them into NFTs and scam money out of people. I mean, and then leverage them for, I don't know what the language of that bollocks is. Do stuff to make stuff. Excellent. Love how most of my squads got themselves hurt. We're going to stick casts up on the left wing. 3 for arts, so we want to commission. Their comms open only very temporarily because of Martin. Camp, fair enough. Do you think we'll win League 2 playoffs out of Grimsby, Salford, Notts County and Chesterfield? I'd really like it to be Chesterfield because I was chatting to some of their fans before the game and they seemed really nice, which is not a great reason to want something to happen, but I'd like it to be Chesterfield. I think it's probably going to be Notts County or Salford. I'd say Notts County are the most likely. If I'm honest, they feel like they're on the sort of better run of form. So that would be my, I won't call it a prediction, that'll be my guess. We'll go with guess. That's the word I was looking for. Where was the other guy I can't play? 6, 7, 8, 9, 4. Good. Let's go with Cuesta. Why not? We'll try Cuesta there. And then we'll go and try and beat Birmingham with our brand new shiny new goalkeeper. I didn't show you guys the shiny new goalkeeper. Let's meet the shiny new goalkeeper. Abdullah Al Mutairi on loan from Fiorentina, Algerian international, 32 caps. I reckon he's a pretty strong pickup for a loanee for our goalkeeping situation. I reckon he looks alright. Could do with being a little bit taller, but otherwise, he'll do the job for us. And plus he's on loan from Fiorentina, so he's got to be like reasonably good, right? That's sort of how that works. On loan from the big club, therefore must be a goodish player, is sort of the plan. We'll say, have I still not sorted those out? I still haven't sorted those out. I'm so good at this. We'll do that after the game. I say that every game. We'll do it. Let's go out there and make a difference, guys. Let's all make a difference to the world. Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows underway at Millwall for a lovely game against Birmingham of the City, who are reasonably well known for being a football club. So let's go, let's get underway, and we are in the blue, as you'd expect, and they are in the red. And I have to sort out the colours on this TV at some stage because it's a bit bright, but I'm sure it looks fine, it looks normal to you guys, so we'll make do as best we can as Jago has a pop. We don't want him scoring, he was the worst teacher at my school. But we get to see Al-Matari on the ball already. And the Algeria international starting a move to Ajani, to Sturrock, to Ajani again. He's going on a lovely run. Can he get the ball into the box? Does have a pop, tipped over, and we've got a corner, and Kassab looks like he's about to take it. I know I signed him as a striker, but he wasn't terribly effective at being the striker for us. So I'm hoping that inside forward is where he's going to do his best work, because we've tried him in midfield as well. He was awful in midfield. So maybe inside forward is where he's going to do his best work for us. He was one of the panic signing strikers in January when I realised this team just didn't score enough goals. And ever since, it's been hard to suggest that we've been scoring enough goals. I mean, we're currently in 13th in the table. We probably should be higher. But it's certainly a better start to the season than or a better place than we found them in. So I suppose that's a win as Orrit goes switching to Banks. Tries to be Eddie. Razocki cannot do anything with it, and we are on the way back. Ball over the top to Phillips, and Orrit trying to track him, does nothing about it. That's gone in. Is that going to be called back? Yes, it is. Happy days. Offside is here again, and that's the dream. We are going to encourage them again as we get to half-time with very little in the way of action, but somehow the Lions share, no pun intended, of the possession and shots on goal, which I guess is where we need to be. We'll tell everyone to keep going. You've got the ability to make a difference today, and go out there and do it. As Kassab forward to Ramashin. Cannot find him, but that's okay. We'll make do. We'll make it happen. I've just noticed that Ajani has an injury. That's lovely. That's not what I need at all, because I don't really think I've got a better option to replace him at right back, as Irazoki goes in towards Ramashin, and it's with Irazoki again. Now Kassab with a shot from range, and he's actually done something that has been notable for a change, as Al-Mutairi goes now to Powell, who's filling in at the back today. Banks gives the ball away, which is not ideal, and switches play, and that's a hell of a finish from Michaelis Nicolau, who was offside again. Oh, they keep getting caught offside. We like this. We're fine with this. Powell is going to take the free kick. Ball forward now to Irazoki, to Farmer. Farmer finds Kassab. Kassab out wide, and that's ever so slightly overhit, by which I mean like a rocket, quite frankly. And, well, they're forced to Orrit. Orrit goes forward now to Farmer. Farmer for Sturrock. Sturrock backwards to Carbone, over the top. Irazoki into the box. Can he cut it back? He can, and that's a great finish from Scott Banks. And we are 1-0 up. And I cannot pretend that that's not a pretty special place for us to be, 1-0 up against against Brum, because, well, it feels like it's been a long time coming based on the stats, but also it doesn't because of the quality of highlights we've been seeing. So it's nice to see we've finally got a shot away. I will make some changes in a second, because there are some players there who could definitely do with replacing if we're going to see this out. But Irazoki's been fouled. Kassab's going to take the free kick into the box. Anyone going to get on the end of it? Someone did. It was Powell. It's come off the crossbar. Falls again to Kassab, but he can't quite keep it in play. And it's gone out for a Birmingham throw-in. And Birmingham are going to try and get the ball forward. Llama, welcome in. Welcome in the Lamette. Lovely to see you all. How are we all? How was the stream? For those who don't know me, I am Chasing Lamely, and I mostly play FM when I'm not doing writing. But welcome in, Llama. Hope you are well. Always lovely to see you. I'll make sure I do a Llama shout out. While I haven't done a Benny shout out yet either because I'm just that slow today. The stream was a thing that happened, so one of those where you got all the results you were looking for. If you're not already following the Llama, make sure you are following the Llama. And also, since I haven't done that yet, if you're not following Benny, make sure you're following Benny, because those are people you should both be following. But welcome in, Lamet. Hope you're all doing very well. We are currently managing Millwall, and it's an awkward time for Llama and the Lamets to join, because we are currently beating Birmingham City. So it's a little bit awkward. It wasn't deliberate, but there we go. Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually looked to see how Birmingham are in this universe, but quite a few years in the future. Connor Cassop finally scored for us. I think it's like his second goal in about 6 months. It's not ideal. We are at the beginning of near the beginning of a season. We are 6-7 games in. Yeah, I mean, but this Birmingham team are 18th. So let's hope this isn't a glimpse into the future of the Blues. But now we're comfortable. I can actually make some changes and get rid of some of these players who are a little bit broken, which is many of them. To be honest, it's many of them. Let's get rid of the booked guys first. Let's play sensible. Get rid of the guys who are booked first, because they are going to be the ones we need to freshen up, and we'll take off Farmer for Messias, because he's not the Messias, he's just a naughty boy, and he is going to make something happen, hopefully. Although 2-0 up, it's a pretty good result for us. So for those who have not seen any of this journey so far, we joined Millwall in January of 2042. We are now in about October of the same year. They were bottom of the championship when we took over. We kept them up last season. And we're just going to try and sort of force them towards the playoffs, hopefully. I don't know if anything above the playoffs is achievable, but playoffs certainly might be, as A.O. Taylor steps up for a goal to make it 3-0. And somehow, in typical FM fashion, all of our goal scorers today have scored their first goals of the season, which I think sums up where we're at, because they're all pretty good players. We've been bargain hunting a little bit. We've got a goalkeeper on loan from Fiorentina. I found this striker, which we'll show you the striker. This is Sergei Romashin. He joined us on a free after being released by Swindon in League 2, and I think he looks like a bloody good championship striker. So he was a good little pickup. It's just been a summer of bargain hunting. It's what we've been doing, and it's what we're going to keep doing, I suppose, is how that usually plays out. But we've managed to get a good win today. That's going to put us up into 7th in the table, which is nice to see. We're above Everton, which is kind of what I was going for. I feel like if you can be above teams who are in the Premier League in real life, even at this stage, in what they are, September 2042, we're very far into the future. Yeah, we can stay above Everton. I think we'll be okay, because I suspect they'll probably do some kind of late push towards something resembling glory. Would be what I would assume would happen. But yes, anyway, happy Wednesday, everyone. Indeed, Simon. Llama has done a raid to me, and it's lovely to have all of the Lamets here. Obviously, me being up streaming this early is unusual. I was saying, for those who want to have a bit of an idea of the day, I'm planning on being live until about 4 o'clock with FM. I'm then going to go and make some food and maybe do a bit of writing whilst I'm making food. And then later on, I'm going to be doing a stream where I am going to be playing some Retro Rewind with a special guest, my sister, who used to work for Blockbusters, and I'm sure we'll have some entertaining stories, because she's the funny one of us. So, fluffier cushions than normal, indeed. I am at my mother's at the moment, because I've been helping out doing some stuff for her. I just brought all of my gear with me so I could still do some streaming whilst I was here, but it does also mean we've got, weird fluffy sloths and things, so that's going to be fine. That will disappear for the stream later because it creeps Cassie out. But there we go. But yeah, bit of a full day. So I'm expecting to do at least 2 streams today. There might be a third, depending on whether or not I decide to do a writing stream in between. But if you're streak chasing, just leave a window open. You know how it goes, and it will pick me up. I'm sure. I don't think Charlie Purdy is going to get a contract somehow. If I had to guess, I'd say definitely not. Anyway, next up, we are playing the mighty Eagles of Crystal Palace. I say mighty Eagles of Crystal Palace. They've been on a... But let's do a little bit of a... How has Crystal Palace's life gone in this universe? So they have yo-yoed up and down. They've just been relegated from the Premier League, which is good, I suppose. I did also say I'd have a look at how Birmingham are doing in this universe. They narrowly missed out on promotion. They've been in the playoffs the last 2 years, so it's not been a bad time to be a Brum fan, I suppose. This universe, their lowest finish has been 15th. That was a 17th in there, but it's largely been near the top of the table. So this isn't a bad universe in which to be a Birmingham fan. It could certainly have been much worse, I would suggest. Unfortunately, we obviously have very few legitimate real players left in this database. If we look at the England squad, for example, in the England squad of players you would recognise, there's now none. There was a couple kicking about last season, but yeah, there are now no real players kicking about in the England squad, which I sort of guess makes sense because they'd be about, even the youngest people in the database would be 33, 34 now. So that does sort of make a little bit of sense in the grand scheme of things, but we're slowly working our way up the league structure. I say slowly working our way up, as I'm sure Simon will tell you. We did a faff. We have not taken the most direct route to the top, I think is the safest way to put this for incoming Larmets, in that we started in Greece, and then we went to Hemel Hempstead in the National League North after we may have got fired for having a 5'4" goalkeeper. Then we went to Scotland for a little while with Dumbarton, went to Tahiti with Taraval, got them promoted, and then came very, very close to winning the league and got to the quarter-final of the Champions League before moving to Cardiff, where we spent a couple of seasons. Then we went to India for about a year, then to Spain for 3 or 4 years, then to Gibraltar for about a year and a half, then Cambridge, then St Mirren, and then back to Millwall has been the journey so far. So we've not taken the straightest line to the top, but it's been fun because, people seem to find the idea we were in Tahiti quite fun for a little while. As one does. I guess it's a league you don't see people playing all the time. Leah wants to predict the score, which we can make happen. So let's do a predict the score. Let me show you the... we are next to them in the table. Let me get predict the score set up, which I'm totally going to remember how to do. I should call that predict the result, because that really is what it is, but apparently my brain didn't think of that, so I'll fix that soon. Let's do manage predictions. So let's do a... So, very similar. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to get your predictions in. Basically, you can gamble channel points to decide whether or not we are going to win, lose, or draw. Put your virtual bets on the winning team, and we will see who is right afterwards. In terms of team news, our top goal scorer is currently injured and might be for a little while, so we need someone to fill in for him. He's out for 3 weeks. And we've got a right back that's doubtful and a centre half / midfielder who is a little bit doubtful. Can we see the league again? Of course we can see the league again. So, league-wise, if you hit the... right, we've got Millwall are just below us. Form-wise, I'd say ours was marginally better. XG-wise, we've been marginally better. And if we look at the form table, which I can totally find first time, don't let anyone tell you I can't. Form-wise, we are on much better form. Our away form, though, is shocking, 18th in the league. Their home form is 23rd in the league, and they are, of course, at home. So those are all the details one might possibly need for a prediction. We've got 5k dropped on us to win. We've got some money on a draw from Liam. Liam could win big with this one, as I think the time is about to run out. We'll keep progressing the days, and we'll see who gets the big payout, I suppose. We'll see where the big payout comes from the predictions. I would hazard a guess that I think we can probably get a win here. I don't think I can. Or maybe I can look. Can I look? You have bet 40 channel points, which is fine. We'll manage the outcome after the game. I'm guessing that was Simon put 5,000 channel points on us to win, which is a lot of confidence in us, but we've got to pull through with some of that. No one has taken the draw, so that's, or taken the loss, so that's good. Which we might lose, just because that's how these things go. Right, we'll put O'Neill on to start. Oh, Francis is back, so he can go on the bench for a Johnny. That's okay. It's fine. We can always play again, as many times as we need to. We'll go with that. Let's try and take the fight to Crystal Palace with our shiny new goalkeeper, hopefully with better hands than the last fella, because he was not good at all. Underwhelming, I think, is the word for the other goalkeeper we had on loan. So, pick up where you left off last time out and go out there, make a difference, make me proud, make me happy. Romashin is going to score today because he owes me a goal. We took some confidence, goals with matches, blah, blah, blah. Let's get underway at Selhurst Park, which I suppose is a fun time. It's a bit of a local derby, I suppose. Palace and Millwall. Pretty sure they don't like each other. I mean, it's Millwall. Pretty sure they don't like anyone. But pretty sure Palace and Millwall don't like each other. Pretty sure that's the particular derby here. Because they're both south of the river, aren't they? So it sort of makes sense. Either way, we've got underway with pretty much nothing happening bar us raining pointless shots on them, apparently. which is fine. We will keep encouraging our players to do their thing and hope we can get somewhere with this, is sort of the plan. Because, well, so far we're not. Let's be honest, we're not. Oh, we've got a highlight. O'Neill to Sturrock, back to O'Neill, to Farmer. Farmer across now for Orrit. Orrit finds Powell. Powell out wide for Banks. Banks cuts it for Erzoki, to Carbone, to Farmer, to Sturrock eventually. O'Neill. We've got to get this ball forward. O'Neill's sliced the ball through for Sturrock, who was, of course, offside. Because that's the kind of life we're leading. We'll keep encouraging them. Someone will get a breakthrough eventually. I don't think I want to add the instruction to work it into the box. In fact, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe that's a good shout. We are the underdogs, apparently. Let's grab these two boys who are not giving it... In fact, there's four players not giving it their all. We'll do that, and then we will tell them all to keep going, make a difference, all that good noises, and let's go up for the second half and finally get ourselves a goal. Feel like we're a second half team. We've been a second half team in the last game. I feel like we're a second half team. So let's hope we carry on being a second half team, because that would be very helpful. I will make changes if none of our front three decide to wake up, as Farmer's been brought down in the box and nothing given, which is excellent. And Winson, I don't like that they've got a player called Winson. That bothers me. Over the top, can we? Yep, goes for nothing. So we go again and we try and get the ball forward as Al Mutairi goes to Powell. Powell forward now for Irasoki. Gets almost tackled. Got Cassup to Romashin, to Farmer. Farmer to O'Neill. O'Neill back to Farmer. Farmer with a through ball looking for Sturrock, who turns out is not the Flash. Carbone heads it down though for O'Neill, to Orrit. Orrit for Carbone, and Orrit decided to deliberately give that one away there. There's no excuse for that pass, and we could be about to concede a goal. Feels great. Feels great. That's always a nice time to concede a goal in a local derby. Excellent stuff. All gone well, gone behind for a goal kick, and then we somehow... Let's skip this replay, it's taking forever. Let's make those changes to our front three, shall we? Because that's not working. We're going to put Questa on up top. We will put Taylor on the right, O'Sheen on the left. I think we'll replace Powell with Francis at the back, and Farmer with Macias, and hopefully that will do enough to get us back in this game and turn it around, because well, we need something to. I'm going to berate them because we should be beating them, and we're not, so that's gone pretty well. Let's see if we can build from it. We signed Carbone and Macias, for those who are new, from Cambridge. We signed them. I think we signed them both for Cambridge as well, and they were really good for us. But I didn't take them to St Mirren. But I've brought them to Millwall, where hopefully they can be difference makers for us. They were both very good. Jack Carbone loves a goal and scores them reasonably often. In fact, you know what, let's do a tactical switch up, a switcheroo, if you will, which is obviously going to work perfectly. That should solve that. Irazoki can be the 10. We'll drop Macias back. Yeah, let's do that. Try something a bit different to try and get through the through the Palace defence, where hopefully we can pull that off. Hopefully we can pull it off. We've got the players to be able to make these switches, so that's always good. And, well, it's all gone wrong. That's all gone horribly wrong. All gone very horribly wrong. Very, very quickly. Which we love to see. We don't love to see it. That's awful. That's gone so horribly wrong. And I don't really know where to start. Oh, we can't win every game. We shouldn't be winning every game, but we didn't win this one. So there's that. We've been all over them as well, which is the really bad thing. We've been all over them. We should have had something out of this game by now. We just haven't. And I don't know if it's just still a case of we don't have that striker who is a big deal, who is a regular goal scorer. Maybe that's the secret here, but either way, that's gone appallingly badly. Can't win them all, but apparently we can't cheer them up after the game either, which is lovely. So for those who are predicting, that was unfortunately a Palace win. So yeah, that's not super been a winner, but that's life. That's life. Palace have done us, and that's the thing. Also, for those who are regulars, and indeed those who are not, I have been thinking about maybe starting to do the Fantasy FM. I don't know how people feel about the Fantasy FM thing. If it's a thing people would be interested in having for the channel, I can certainly look into setting it up. It won't be right now, but I can certainly have a look into setting it up, the old Fantasy FM. I am going to criticise Romasheen's form. He hasn't scored recently, and get back to scoring ways. We haven't actually seen him score any goals, so that's definitely a thing he needs to get a move on with. I should probably rest the players because I haven't got a very big squad due to our lack of youth team above all else. So let's rest these guys, and hopefully they'll be daisy fresh for next time out. Yeah, I mean, you can see just from that screen we've got a real problem finding a goal scorer, even if I take or put back in the guys who are currently unavailable. Like, our top scorer has 6, and it's our left winger, and then after him it's our right winger. And then strikers have really done nothing to contribute. I mean, everyone seems to be scoring a goal here and there, but nobody has been actually contributing big numbers of goals. So I think it's a little bit fraudulent that we're anywhere near mid-table. It does concern me, but we were only really trying to avoid going down, so we haven't really lost anything in the grandest scheme of things. I love how nobody thought this would happen popped up as the message at the top of chat. Nobody thought this would happen. It's a disaster. Alright. We'll make it. We'll try and get our win back against Grimsby. I'm pretty sure Grimsby are bottom of the table. So hopefully should be easy pickings for us. You'd hope easy pickings. I don't know if it will be easy pickings, but you'd certainly hope it was easy pickings. Nope, Grimsby are mid-table. Grimsby are a mid-table side. We've had players called up, my word. Players for the under-23 AFCON, that's far from ideal. That's far from ideal. They can't be missing from the 17th of September to the 24th of March. That's not possible. Surely not. There's no way FIFA would allow that, surely. We'll have a look once they go away. But I really hope that's not the case, because that's ridiculous, quite frankly. Right, in terms of our players today, let's pull up the unavailables and... Why did that... I could have sworn I had Jordan registered. Oops. That was a mistake. Then I guess team-wise we are probably as good as we're going to get, because Ajani's not fit yet, Morris isn't fit yet. We can put Alamore on the bench for Cuesta. I think Hindo on the bench for Broadley is the choice we're making today. See how that pays off. It should pay off reasonably well. I'm losing patience with Ramashim. He really needs a goal, and soon. I'm hoping he's one of those strikers who goes forever without scoring and then suddenly gets one goal and becomes a machine. We'll replace Powell with Francis, although apparently that's a bad choice. Well, let's go with that. We'll go with that, right? Grimsby. Up next, let's beat Grimsby Town in the Championship, where hopefully it will just show that Palace was a blip, and they are secretly the best team in the world. And instead, we are going to go out there and just do good things, do winning things, be the big team. I'm sure we'll be fine. They've got Onyango up top, and I'm pretty sure he's punished us more than once. Pretty sure he's a fella who has scored a few goals against us in the past. Possibly with Grimsby. Grimsby's the only place we would have come across him. Either way, we're in the white today because for some reason my version of FM doesn't like to render kits properly, and I don't know why. Open to any suggestions for anyone that might have an idea why that's a thing. Banks is into the box, can't score the goal. We are badly weak on the left hand side. Cassup's just sort of makeshifting it in there, but largely through lack of other options, which isn't necessarily ideal. Banks to Cassup. Cassup coming forward, trying to get past Tullin. Gets there, cross goes over, doesn't find any friends, which is sad and depressing. And now Onyango is through, and that is definitely not the first time I have said that phrase during this journey, which is probably a sign I should have tried to sign him at some stage, but I haven't. So there's that. I don't know if it was actually onside or not. It wasn't called back, so I can't really check it in slow-mo, which is annoying. Let's encourage them while we can. Cassup, ball into the box, forced to Sturrock. Sturrock has a pot, Blair Sturrock off the post, and Groom gets it clear, and it falls to Farmer. Farmer, through ball for O'Neill. O'Neill needs to get a crossover. Oh, great, that was a great highlight. It was so useful to me. That really helped me figure out the flow of the game in ways that I couldn't imagine. Right, I'm trying to think, is it worth going back to the 4-2-3-1, bearing in mind they're also playing a 4-3-3? Does it make sense to go to the 4-2-3-1 and match up the 4-3-3, or is that just begging for no one to score for the rest of the game? Well, we've got to make a change now anyway, because that's not gone well, so we'll make that change, and that will have to do. I think I want Carboni as the channel, because he was scoring quite a few goals from there for us at Cambridge. So hopefully he can do it here as well, but we've got to change something. We've got to make something new happen, because apparently we're just going to leak goals if we don't. And we seem to have hit a bit of a losing streak, which I don't like. I mean, it had to happen eventually. We are predicted to finish like 17th, 18th, I think. So we're certainly going to be a side that loses more than we win. But the same could be said last time. Let's try the assistant manager's advice. And let's go with those guys. It looks like our defence is playing quite well, ironically. You're not good enough so far. Get it together. Everyone else just figure it out, I suppose. Oh, Romishin apparently didn't get caught up in my little sort your performance out. There we go. Right, back underway. Second half, hopefully with a different result. I want you to play for set pieces, and that's actually not the worst advice I've been given. Maybe. Let's see how this highlight ends up. Cassup back to Carbone. Carbone lays it off again for Cassup to Farmer. O'Neill tries to beat his man, has a pop, doesn't really go anywhere. Let's very quickly set up the set pieces now, just to try and get the best out of this. Steer forward, doesn't go anywhere at all. So hopefully that's okay, and hopefully that will be, this will be a thing we can turn around. Right, Irazoki, he's wearing a number 10 shirt, so he has to be good at free kicks. Those are the rules. Irazoki with a shot, it's off the woodwork and put out for a corner by Grimsby. That went, oh, we are going to see a corner. Cassup, is he going to create magic here? Into the box, headed away. Sturrock to O'Neill. O'Neill with a pop goes behind for a corner. And we're trying to keep some pressure on, apparently. Irazoki's taking this one as well into the box, and there's no one quite there. Carbone finds Irazoki again. Irazoki's got it alone, puts it away. Moment of genius from Matteo Irazoki, and we are back on terms after he's been awful today as well, which is interesting. So we can encourage the players. I don't know how he's gone from a 6.2 rating to, I'll just take on their entire defence, why not? But apparently that's how he was feeling, and we'll see how that affects everything around him. I think Banks has probably run his race for the day just because he looks tired. So that's a good start. In fact, let's just quickly flick in some substitutions there. So Banks on for Kwamba. I should replace the right back, but I can't. Carbone can come off for, I think, Hindo's going in there. Cassup off for O'Sheen. Romasheen off for Alamor. And that will do for now. Just for now, just to see what magic those changes can produce for us. I'm not expecting Irazoki to stay at a 7.1, I'll be honest. I'm expecting that to start dropping. O'Neill back to Farmer. Cross goes in. Oh, I thought Hindo was going to score then. Would have been a magical moment. Farmer to O'Neill. Tackled. Farmer gets it back. He's going to cut it back again. And we need to get this cross in as quick as we can. Ball into Irazoki. It's almost at a second. It's like he just suddenly woke up. It's like he suddenly woke up having scored a goal and decided, you know what, I actually quite enjoyed doing that. Let me try that again. See if that's a thing I want to develop as a skill long term. He is tiring. Is there a replacement on the bench? There is. A.O. Taylor for Sturrock, I suppose, is our best shot as Powell goes to Farmer. Farmer back to Powell now. Back to Farmer again. They're just playing 1-2s for no reason. It's just wasting time. Ball goes in for O'Neill. Can O'Neill get a crossover? He had space. Should have crossed earlier than he perhaps wanted to. And now we're on the back foot. And Farmer is coming back at us now. Lions on the chase. Can we get in here? Well, anyway, defending apparently is not something we've decided to be good at today. So that's nice. Defending is not a thing we've decided we want to be good at today. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Good. All right. Well, I guess we'll yell at them then and hope that sorts them out, because I don't know how else to handle that but to shout at them and to hope something better can be brought to bear, really, which it's not going to be, because we've had so many shots. We've been properly FM'd. Been properly FM'd today. We're just so wasteful in front of goal. So wasteful in front of goal. Really isn't helpful. We just have to kind of hope that this run of form isn't going to be a long-term problem. We've got to hope it's going to be a short-term disaster, I suppose, which I've got faith in us to pull off, but I'm not entirely sure how we're going to pull that off. Let's see, table-wise, we are... I'll just put on the full table so I can actually see it. 15th. So we've sort of swapped with Grimsby. This is about where we should be in the league, realistically, I would say. So, not too bad. We're not in danger of being sacked, I would imagine. Maybe wants us to grow the club's reputation. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to pull that off. I'll be honest with you guys, because I don't know. Right, how long till our next game? That was the bit of information I was looking for, which obviously is right there at your fingertips in FM26. We've got a week until our next game. Burton Albion. Hopefully Louis Ray might just be able to make it back into the squad in time. Hopefully that'll be a thing that he pulls off. James Milner, the Swansea boss, was seen watching Luton, tracking Matias Santa Cruz. Okay, cool. That's good information. We've had some battles with James Milner, the manager, over the course of this save, so it would be nice to keep an eye on what he's doing in terms of signing players. Not that he's doing anything for a few months anyway, and Burton up next will be hopefully a bit easier. They were, I think, bottom of the league, nearly bottom of the league when we checked. So that's helpful. That's always a joy to enjoy. You know what I mean? Words and English and words in English sometimes happen here. They rarely happen here. They're pretty rare. They're pretty rare, I would say. Our words are rare. But our fun is maximised, so that's okay. We just need to get this result against Burton to go into the international break, where we can send some guys on holiday, give them a good rest, and hopefully come back a little bit stronger. I've just realised two of our players have just gone away for international duty, which is a problem, because we were already on bare bones as a squad. And having two players go to an AFCON was not really ideal. It could be a problem for us. I'm sure it'll be fine. I think I'm overthinking this. I'm sure it will be just fine. I'm sure it'll be perfectly normal. Cannot imagine anything bad could possibly happen with us being down to the bare bones of our squad, with me having no money or capacity to bring in any younger players. So that will be fine. That will be absolutely fine. Nothing can possibly go wrong. I've just seen our goalkeeper's been given an Algeria call up too. Gary Hackney's injured. Don't think he was registered anyway, but if he was, that's a problem. Do have to have a clear out in January of the players who aren't registered. Bristol Rovers Moorland in come and get me plea. I don't really know who you are, so that's not going to help. I guess we can find out in a second. We will find out in just a moment who that is and if he's a player I want. Oh, Norwich are getting a takeover. That's far from ideal. Norwich getting the takeover. It's not really what we wanted. Is a rival team getting more money. Lincoln are up in second, by the way. That's wild. Who was the guy that apparently wants me to come and get him? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, who's been called up this time? Mershevsky, Banks, Campbell, O'Neill, Bowen. How has Geraint Bowen got called up for Wales? Are they really that hard up for goalkeepers? Because he was terrible. Where is the... Come and get... There we go. Moorland. Tom Moorland. It's probably going to be a no, but we'll have a scout of him anyway. Just in case. Only by Maastricht. Well, I've not got £1 million lying around, but I can't make any movements till January anyway, so that's fine. But do I have any money lying around? We've got £500,000 lying around. Let's just have a quick look for options we might have that might be affordable youngsters to bulk out the squad a little bit, because that's really been the issue. Is, well, it's one of the issues is lack of players. Arthur Vena from Groningen. I mean, seen better, had worse. And I do sort of just need to keep throwing strikers at the wall and seeing what sticks. Yeah, hopefully not strikers. I don't know if I want a sticky striker. You know what I mean. English words. We're going to make you that offer for 85k. You're going to tell us what you want, and then we'll figure it out from there. £45,000 for a left back. I mean, he can't head for shit, but he's quick and he can cross and he can sort of tackle, and he's 19. Let's see, wage-wise, oh, it's affordable. I mean, they want to sell him now, and I don't want to wait till his contract ends, so I guess that's sort of a good deal for them. And then... I mean, there's so many players here we could look at. It's a bit mad. Let's switch to international view. Just have a look, see who's in a national team that's worth a look. I mean, Australian international could turn out to be pretty good, so we'll have a look at him. He's probably not great. Another Australian. Hopefully that sends the same scout, because there's no point sending two. There's a lot of the Australian squad seems to be available. In theory. Yasidis could be okay. We'll watch him. Get to know him a bit. He's going to be expensive regardless. Saleh. I can't imagine he's cheap, but we'll have a look at him anyway. He might be cheap, and he's at Liverpool, so we'll have a look at him. Zambian's not going to be the one. I mean, I'd like to find a great Armenian player. Guyanese players are quite rare, good. Oddly, on FM, Malaysian players tend to turn out to be really good. So we'll have a look at him, just to get an idea of what's going on there. Sean Lopez wasn't that good when we had him. I don't know why he's even appearing. Dwayne Lashley's probably not the guy. Kane Julian's would be much easier if I just added a nationality column, wouldn't it? Be much easier. Which of course isn't just a thing I can have as a regular thing to add in, is it? General. Why can I have nation of birth and second nationality, but not like just nationality? Because nation of birth isn't really super helpful, because it says Dwayne Lashley is English, but he's clearly actually from Barbados, which doesn't really help me. It's just better than nothing, but it's still largely nothing. Ooh. Who are you wanted by? Just a casual Cambodian at Arsenal? He's actually probably worth a look, because why wouldn't he be? He's at Arsenal. Asim Jeffers. That's... Where have I scouted him already? Give him a look. We've currently looked at the Irishman already. So still things like this. He could be at a big club and he could not be. Another Australian. Australia must be building quite a good squad. Just logically, Australia must be building quite a good squad based on what I've been seeing. It seems to be quite a few decent, from what we can see, looking Australian players. We'll look at the guy from Brisraw. I'm a little bit curious to see what Australia's world ranking is right now. 48th. I thought they'd be higher based on what I've been seeing. That's fine, that'll do for now. Let's go play Burton. Anyone I can switch around here? Put Hindo back into the benching positions. Johnny's finally fit again, so we can drop. In fact, we can just drop Williams. Drop Williams for now. How far away is Ray from full fitness? That's really unhelpful. 6 days. I think we'll chuck him on the bench instead of O'Sheen, because O'Sheen's done nothing. Anyway, we might need him as an option later on. And then Ramashin, I think we're going to... Oh, hang on, I've got a striker missing. I've got 4 and 6 missing off my bench. That's going to change everything. Excellent, right, okay. I guess O'Sheen's going back in then as 4, and then Williams goes back on at 6, and then Let's have to put in a striker. So Huerta for Williams. Right, if Romashine can't score against Burton, I reckon we call the experiment of having a Russian striker done. I think that's the plan. We call that done. If Romashine cannot get a goal against a Burton side who are at around near the bottom of the table, I would say we've probably... I've still haven't sorted out the team instructions, which is fine. Do that now whilst I remember opposition instructions. Apply all that advice. Confirm. Happy days, right. Let's do it. Let's do it to Burton. As fast as we can do it to Burton, let's make it a thing. Freddie Godden in goal for Burton, who I think we've managed before somewhere. Sturrock on a run. I mean, I'm not sure why he thought shooting straight at the goalkeeper that was a great idea, but unfortunately I'm not in control of him as a footballer. Banks to Irasoki, back to Banks, Irasoki again, ball to Palmer, Banks and Irasoki combining once more, and Scott Banks has a pop from a billion miles out and has not managed to put the ball into a goal. So that's honestly not terribly helpful. It's not terribly helpful at all, but we'll work it out. We will. I thought we were already discouraging long shots, but we'll keep discouraging long shots just to see if that will help us out. Godden now on the ball. In fact, I should do a tactics, shouldn't I? I should do a tactics. Let's just while we're discouraging long shots, because I haven't set it up on this tactic yet, let's do the thing where we tell everyone who could get in a position to shoot to do so less often, because we've learned that that leads to more goals for some reason. No one really seems to understand why it leads to more goals, but for some reason telling everyone to shoot less often seems to produce more goals. It's an odd situation. One I've never quite got close to figuring out, but there we go. Irasoki. Ball forward to Farmer. Farmer through ball to Cassup. Cassup. Jesus Christ. He should shoot far less often than he does. By which I mean rarely if ever, because he never seems to get one on target. It's very frustrating, as is the fact that we have a striker who's about to play his 11th, who's currently playing his 10th or 11th game for us, who still hasn't scored a goal yet. Banks, cross goes in. Someone needs to just get it down and put it away. Sturrock, back to Orrit. Orrit to Powell. Powell to Banks. Banks trying to beat Imber. And is he going to get there? Does get the crossover. Crosses over, but there's no one on the back post to do anything with it. Goka's got a yellow card for something. We got a penalty out of that somehow. I don't understand how we got a penalty out of that. I just saw he was booking someone. I was like, what? Why? And then I was like, oh, it must be a penalty. Oh, Jesus Christ, Blair. Jesus, whatever. If I had known that was... If I reacted to that being a corner quicker, Romashine would have been taking it just because I need to get him on a goal-scoring streak. But alas... It's not to be. Right. I am not happy with your performances out there, which is a bit harsh because I'm okay with a lot of them. Blair Sturrock, you need to prove you have what it takes. There really needs to be, not that team talks really do much anyway, but there really needs to be an option for, look, you missed a penalty, just forget about it and carry on with your life. Like, he is starting to recover his rating, but we all know it never really comes back. And there shouldn't be any kind of thing with player mentalities where, without fail, every time a player misses a penalty, you know you're going to have to take him off because he's just never going to get his head back in the game. It's a real bugbear. Right, replacing one injured left winger with another, but we're gonna make the best of that because this one seems to know where the goal is. Banks off for Mwamba, and I guess Carbone off for Broadley just to protect. Oh, hang on, actually, let's protect O'Neill for Ajani, just to get Ajani some match fitness going. Hopefully Ray's not going to get injured again, and he will remember that he was our top goal scorer before he got injured, and thus should be the guy. He should be the guy for us, in theory, to get us back, or get us ahead in this game. We'll see. Weaver on the ball for Burton. Burton are not looking good so far, but then we aren't looking good either. Ajani's picked up the ball here. It's going on a run. Hopefully we'll find a cross into the box. Does. Finds Mwamba. Mwamba goes back post, and Louis Ray off the bench. 5th goal in 7 this season. Somehow is the only man in Millwall who knows how to get a goal. We have been missing him whilst he's been injured. The fact that I've had to break the glass in case of emergency, send him on whilst he's still recovering from an injury, and he's had to show up and be our goal scorer, is troubling, and I'd like 3 or 4 more like him as backups, because that would be really helpful, just in case he goes down injured again, which I guess could happen. Probably won't, but it could happen. Right, Ajani into the box, another header, please, another goal. Raised there again, and gets beaten to it that time. Falls to Carbone. Jack Carbone to Powell. Powell finds Orrit. Orrit finds Ajani. Down the line, looking for Taylor. Taylor cuts it back, and Louis Ray scored again. 6 goals in 7. Braced for him today, and he's got to be thinking, how good will I be when I'm fully recovered? To be honest, because I mean it's unlucky that came off the post. Louis Ray was in the right position and just said, yeah, cheers lads, I'll have that. Can he get a hat-trick today? You never know. You never know if he'll pull it off. He could have an opportunity here. Farmer gets the throw-in, gives the ball away immediately, but it falls to Powell. Powell out to Mwamba, who, coming down the far side, you'd think he'd try and cut out towards the line. He didn't. He had acres of space to move into, and now Imber is running at us. Mwamba's got to try and defend. Cross goes over. Let's get this clear. We haven't quite got it clear. King on a run. Taylor trying to get behind the ball. Hasn't quite pulled it off. Taylor gets the tackle in. Right, let's get this ball forward. We're not going to get the ball forward. We might not see another highlight. That might be the whole ball game. It is. And it is a 2-0 win over Burton. That will do us. And I think, regardless, Ray is starting the next game, whether he's injured or not, because he's done quite spectacularly well. Given all that has happened thus far, he has done quite spectacularly well. And hopefully more to come. I'm trying to work out why I've had a thing disappear on me. There we go. Close that. That's totally normal. So I'm trying to work out why a thing isn't working the way it should work. I'm none the wiser. Sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right. Anyway, attend the press conference, please, and send the assistant. And of course, we can praise Louis Ray. Great job, son. You are basically all that stands between us and relegation, so keep trying. Back up into 8th. It's a back and forth, but we're back up into 8th, which is nice to see after 10 games played. And apparently I exploded. Right, we've got Cardiff up next. So let's go do that. Zoom through, because we're not worried about the international break. And I will be back in just a tickety boo. So stick around. Okay, we are back. We are back. Right, apologies for that. We're still not at the next game yet. My word. My word. Okay, well, in that case, I was going to say we should do some Scrandle, but you guys are all working with me on it as background noise, so that's probably not a great idea, because A, you're supposed to be pretending to work, and B, you know, no one's really looking at the screen, so that's fine. I'm just kind of the soundtrack, which is fine. It's perfectly normal. Right, we've got about 40 minutes left of the stream. Give or take. So it should be enough time to get 2 or 3 more matches in, I would hope, and then yeah, like I said, there will be a bit of a break whilst I construct some kind of fooding for the fam, and I might do a little brief writing stream, like an hour between sticking dinner in the oven and, you know, the big evening stream of fun times, which yeah, can't be terribly far away. I know it's happening about 9ish, but yeah, you know, it'll give me a time to do a little bit of scribbling down. So, you know, don't be alarmed if you see me pop up in the reading writing category. It does happen occasionally. And if you're not following already, and you've been here this long after following the llama, maybe smash the old follow me button. It's great for your health, so I'm told. Rumour has it people who follow live longer. Now, that's not a guarantee, and even if it is, frankly, you can't sue me, because it was clearly a nonsense statement that I'm doing just to fill some time in between stuff hopefully happening towards the Cardiff City game. So, looks like we've got 2 games against Welsh clubs at least left in the stream for today. Cardiff up next, followed by Wrexham, followed, it seems, by Norwich City, who I am told is a real place. Even if they all pronounce it Norwich. It'll be fine. We could finish off the stream with us maybe in the playoffs, which would be fine. That's where my aim is for this season, I think, is a playoff place. That feels like a good place to be, and hopefully it will be a good place to be as we slowly tick off the days towards the Cardiff game. For those who wonder why I holiday between games, it's because doing this manually would take forever at this stage in the save file. Because every time I go, "Ooh, that's an interesting news," that's why I just ignore everything. If everyone, "Oh, that's an interesting news story," we'd be here all day, because it's already taking a while to get through it in holiday mode, which I think is as a consequence. I say as a consequence. Let me. The save file on this is currently enormous. It's already approaching unwieldy, so the file size is just shy of a gig at this stage. Whereas I've got one I started fairly recently for a video that is 500k. It's a brick of a save file. We're certainly not going to get past another 10 more seasons, I would imagine, of this particular save, which is good, because that's probably about when my in-game version of me would be looking at retiring. I think like it'd be quite a realistic time to retire. So if we're going to crack a Champions League in this one, it's going to have to be reasonably soon. We certainly don't have time to do much building towards one, as we are now finally on the day of the Cardiff game, on the telly as well, which is nice. A lovely TV game against Cardiff. clearly Millwall versus Cardiff is a glamour tie. Probably has nothing to do with the two clubs having firms that might have made it a bit tasty at some stage. You know, that's probably not the reason. Which is a really nice way of saying it's definitely the reason. I'm sure it will be okay. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Anyway, can we have the game against Cardiff now, please? And I can have the lovely surprise of finding out who is and isn't fit. Is that Bury in the Championship? Is that just, oh, it's the fourth qualifier. I was like, when did Bury get in the Championship? Wild. Right, today's fixtures, team selection. Let's see what's nasty. Surprise! Oh, Hackney's back. Hackney's back. That's great news. Oh, so is Morris, which is even better news because that means I've got a centre half to replace Francis on the bench, which will help us out. I would like Hackney back in the mix for probably Broadley. No, O'Sheen he can replace. That's a smart move. And then otherwise we look alright. What's wrong with Cassup? Maximum of 75 minutes. And Hackney is similar. I might actually start A.O. Taylor, although that does mean I can't replace both wingers if I need to, unless... Sure, we'll give it a go. We can't lose anything. Romashine still hasn't scored, and Cardiff are a serious team, so we'll put Alamore on the bench, or on as a starter. We'll drop Cuesta for Williams? Baldwin. We'll try Baldwin. Why not? Let's do that. See if someone somewhere can get us a goal. Because someone somewhere has to have a goal in them. So I'm sure we'll be alright. I'm sure we'll be just fine. Right, do it. Oh, I still haven't done the pre-match thing. Right, carrying a last performance through this one. Great opportunity to shake off our malaise. Right, get it underway so I can hit the Oppo instructions properly. Good stuff. There we go, right. So, Cardiff are allegedly wearing orange, but also white and blue. I don't understand. Right, Jack Carbone, though, has played it off to Powell. To Orrit, who's picked up a booking already, less than 3 minutes into the game, which is a great sign. Taylor to Farmer, back to Irasoki, to Banks. Cross the goal, and we've not finished it. We've not quite pulled out the finish that we were looking for, which I think is a thing we probably need to get a bit more of a handle on as the ball goes across now to Farmer. Farmer with a pop. We've got a corner. We've forced a save out of the keeper. We've got a corner, and it's Irasoki going to take it. Can we get a goal from the end of this? Cross goes in, doesn't quite get anywhere. Alamore has a pop. We've won another corner. And is Alamore going to be the first of our strikers to actually score a goal this season? Irasoki into the box, can't quite get there. Alamore again on it. Cuts it back to O'Neill. O'Neill into the box, and Hamada Alamore has become the first of the strikers in our squad somehow to score a goal this season. It's not that we haven't scored goals. He just somehow is the first actual striker to get one. And I don't know how that's happened at all, but there we go. It's only taken us about 12 games to get a goal from a striker. And I've got at least 4 of them in the squad who've all played. So that's gone quite well, I suppose. Tactically, clearly, we know exactly what we're doing, and it's going to be fine. That puts us up into 7th in the table. We can't go higher than 7th off of the back of today's result, so that's still fine. Still perfectly acceptable stuff. As a cross goes in there, it's been cleared, and it's with Farmer. Farmer through ball for Alamore. Is he going to get a second one? Surely not. No, he hit the bar. Hit the bar. Excellent stuff. Exactly what I was looking for. And we will just keep going again and again and again until we get more goals, is sort of now the plan, because, well, we need to make an example of someone, and Cardiff happen to be here. So Farmer to Carbone to Powell. Powell bringing the ball forward, lays it out wide for Banks. Banks through ball to Taylor. Taylor finds Banks on the overlap. He's going to keep going down the line. Irasaki now back to Taylor, who forces another save and another corner from our goalkeeper, or from the Cardiff goalkeeper Jones, who clearly plays for Cardiff. It's a very Welsh name. O'Neill to Farmer to Sturrock. Back to O'Neill, trying to beat Graham, has done, down the far side. Will he be looking for a cross? You'd hope so. Cross goes in. Irasaki is there, and Jones once again forced to tip it wide for a corner, and Irasaki will be taking it into the box. Can we get a head on this one? We can't quite, and that's a penalty. And is there anyone who really needs a goal right now? I mean, no, because our striker has scored. Otherwise, I was just thinking I'd give it to a striker, but it's for Alamore's taking it anyway. There we go. Can he get 2 goals in a game and set himself apart as our first choice striker? Alamore steps up. Hamada Alamore makes it 2 in 3 matches, and I think we've probably got our new number 9 based on this performance, because it was always going to be a case of whichever striker started scoring first was going to keep the shirt until that one stopped scoring for a few games. And, well, this one's had 2, so that's a great start. We've moved ourselves back up, still into 7th, above Palace and Birmingham. It's not too bad, just outside the playoffs, with Wrexham next, so we could finish the next game in the playoffs if all results go our way. Cardiff, by the way, second bottom. Thought they were further up the table. I was going to sell that as being way more impressive than it actually is, and then they scored. So 2-1 to Millwall, and Cardiff have decided to maybe try and fight back, which doesn't help me a lot, if I'm honest. Doesn't help me at all, if I'm more honest. So O'Neill has not got to that header. To be fair, he's not, as far as I'm aware, the best at, I was going to say best at jumping. He's not the best at heading. He's quite good at jumping. 17 jumping, which should be getting to that if we're honest. But somehow hasn't. We've got another corner. Irasaki is going to take it, and someone needs to get on the end of this. And it's Samuel Powell who does get on the end of it, the centre half. And it's 3-1 to Millwall. Just before half time, just before the whistle goes, I genuinely thought that was going to go nowhere, because it was basically a half-time highlight, or should have been a half-time highlight based upon the timing, and it is not. So 3-1 is our half-time score. Happy with the number of shots. Keep it going. Second half is underway. Let's goals, please. Let's goals, please, is what we're going to say. So, Millwall 3, Cardiff 1. The score coming out of half-time, and we're going to hope we can make it 4-1. Really put the screws to them a little bit and make something happen as the ball goes over the top, and Josh Heron gets a goal, and suddenly we're in for a thriller. 5 goals already in this match. I'm not sure exactly what's gone wrong. If that turns out to be O'Neill again, I'll be slightly annoyed. It was Ori that time. Or was it O'Neill? He's creeping in, and he's not got across him, and you've got to question whether that 7.8 rating has all come from that assist, because we've seen him have 2 absolute howling mistakes so far. His mistakes have kind of cost us both goals, which is a problem that I think I'm going to solve with the subs bench while I can. So O'Neill off for Ajani. I think I'll take off Orit for Kwamba just to protect him. I do need a left back. Ray as a left back? Sure. It can't hurt. Taylor off for, I guess, Hackney. And that will do for changes for now. We'll keep an eye on Sturrock. Baldwin's there if we need him. Baldwin is there if we need him. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Almatari's not had a great game today, it has to be said. Edasocki forward for Sturrock. Sturrock off the woodwork again. How many times has Blair Sturrock hit the woodwork just in today's stream? That's got to be the 4th or 5th time I think I've seen it. It's not really his best work today. In fact, having said that, maybe he's going to come off shortly as well, as Ray on the ball to Irasaki, back to Powell. Powell to Carbone. It's fallen to Ajani. Ajani to Blair Sturrock. He's in the box. Cuts it back. Ajani off the woodwork. It's gone out for a corner apparently. So it must have been a touch over by the goalkeeper. Baldwin's going on the right hand side for Blair Sturrock. We'll see if Baldwin, coming out of the cold a little bit here, he has been transfer listed. We'll see if he's got anything to offer. As Powell heads it towards Farmer. Farmer finds Baldwin. Ellamore and Baldwin playing 1-2s. Out to Ajani now. Ajani looking for a cross. Can he find something into the box? Headed over by Hackney that time. And should have done a bit more with that, to be quite honest. I mean, I know we're winning, but we should be winning a lot more comfortably than we are. Although, could argue Cardiff have outperformed their XG. We'll tell our team to be more disciplined. That's probably not the worst idea anyone's ever had as time ticks towards a final whistle. Probably without a highlight. It is without a highlight. 3-2, we beat Cardiff. We are back into 7th and Wrexham up next, who will be hoping to stop us from taking their place in the playoffs. They won't. Spoiler, I intend for them not to stop us finding a place in the playoffs. That's very much the goal here. Very much the goal here. So, randomly find messages from messaging. Good. I'm sure we'll be just fine. Just fine. Right. Yes, primarily on our own ability. We're heading in the right direction because we're going upwards. Right, great result, good stuff. When is our next game? And Elamore has made himself a bit of a hero. And the next game we are going to start with Ray on the pitch instead of Taylor. Morris on the bench instead of Hackney, I guess. There's an argument for... No, let's do that. Let's do that. That should be fine. Should be fine. Will be fine. Is it? No. No, it's not. It's not. That'll be fine. Right, that should work. That should get us something going. Sturrock doesn't need replacing on the right wing just yet. O'Neill will need replacing with Ajani, because I think Ajani offers a bit more going forward than O'Neill, despite the fact O'Neill is quicker. Although, let's keep it as is, just to stop the lone gods being displeased with us. And then let's go play Wrexham and get ourselves another win against a Welsh club. We're going to make the Welsh clubs fear us. That's the plan. The Welsh clubs will all fear us by the end of the stream, and hopefully just realised a few of the teams of us have games in hand, so must be playing on the Sunday, which could leave us right behind Wrexham, or somewhere there or thereabouts. There is a bit of shaking out looking at the table that could happen from this. I guess it doesn't really matter until we get to the game, though, does it? Against the mighty Dragons of Wrexham. Farmer drops lack of football concern. That's good. That's good. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. Everton versus Stoke on a Wednesday night. That sounds like a glamorous tie, doesn't it? That's a glamorous game of football that we're all having, is Everton versus Stoke. Sure, it'll be perfectly fine and normal. But not as fine and normal as us playing a game against the Wrexham team that is coming up. Just having a quick look just to see who's floating. Some beautiful people floating. Okay, we are creeping our way towards the Wrexham game. Al Dassari unhappy with O'Neill's loan agreement. Well, that's a shame. Also, does that mean somehow we found a Saudi manager in England somewhere? Because that would be a weird thing to happen. That would be an interesting, weird thing to happen as we cross over to the Saturday. And we're going to see if Mr. Ellamore, the love, can be the love machine. It just popped into my head. If he does become a channel hero, that's going to become a thing. I can feel it. I feel that vibe now. Right, let's have a look just to see why he's unhappy. Is it? It can't be because he's not playing enough, because he's playing all the time. Oh. I seem to have accidentally told him he was going to be played as a central defender. Well. What's Orit's form been like? 6.9. And Powell is on a 7.24. And John O'Neill is on a 6.94. What is a Jai on? A 6.86. Okay, well, then I guess nothing changes. No, we're good. We're good. Right, let's just get those messages pretend read. And get under... Oh, hang on. Kieran Kawamba is out injured. Well, that's unfortunate. Or Mwamba, sorry, I can read. No, nobody should believe I can't read. Right, that looks good. Solid stuff. Go. Let's go. Louis Ray is lacking match fitness, but it didn't stop him scoring twice last time he played, so I feel like he's going to be just fine. Just fine for this one. And, yeah. Second. Doing well on a good run, blah blah blah. I've just realised I once again failed to do the opposition instructions, which every time I do them I seem to actually, you know, get a result, which is the thing I should be paying attention for. Right, here we go. Underway, on the ball. Powell forward for Banks. Banks finds Rasocki. Back to Banks. Banks forward now for Ray. Ray finds Farmer. Farmer back for Carbone, who finds Sturrock. Out wide now, looking for O'Neill. Farmer again. Beats his man into the box. Farmer across goal, and Hamad El Amour gets goal numero 3 of his Millwall career, and he is now officially the man charged with being Millwall's number 9 and propelling us up the table. As the table stands, we are in 6th, so that's a pretty good place for us to be in, or on the brink of the playoffs is certainly the vibe we were going for. Great ball over the top, but Almutari is going to get there, and we are going to try and put the ball back into the Wrexham box here at is it Stockcastle or something? I can never remember. It's the racecourse ground, but in Welsh. Great shot by Mitchell, but Benion's offside, so that's fine. And we're going to keep going with more attempts to get more wins, please. Or more goals in this win, I should say, because I would like us to be pushed up into the playoffs. Everton have gone up into 3rd as well. We're up into 5th. Birmingham joining us in the playoffs. Bristol City, Lincoln up and around us too. And we're only 5 points behind Lincoln in 2nd as things stand. So that's not the worst thing that could be happening to us as we get to half-time, and it's 1-0 to us. Pleased with the number of shots we've taken, but also we'll grab Scotty Banks. We'll grab our 2 wide men and just tell them they've not been good enough, and then we'll grab everyone else, tell them to go out there and make a difference today, and all will, I promise, be fine. And we go again, looking for a second goal. That's the hope and dream that we keep with us. A second goal just to make it look really good out there. Ray somehow is not playing well now he's fully fit, just to make sense of it all. Let's praise the boys. Let's give it a shuffle, shall we? Give the deck a shuffle. Let's drop Powell to left back. We'll send in fact, you know, we'll send O'Neill to centre half just to see what he can do there for us. And then we'll send Ajayi on the right. Sturrock can go off for Taylor. We'll take Irasaki off for Messias. And leave it there for now, I think. Yeah, for now. For now, that will be just fine. Just fine. I mean, we'll certainly need to make more changes, but that will do for now. Powell looking to get into the box, didn't, and now we have to come all the way back as Al-Shawari was playing for them. Orrit on a run, Benion towards the box, maybe Orrit trying to track him back and hasn't done a great job of that, so that's gone well. McGrath into the box and it's headed behind the goal by the Wrexham attacker. Keeping half an eye on what I could change. I think Ray might have to come out because he's not doing a great job. He can be replaced by Cassup just to give us some extra firepower, and we'll take off O'Neill for Francis probably. Corner, Cassup to take it. Can we have a second goal from this corner? That would be huge if we could pull that off. Cross goes in, headed away. And now we're on the back foot as Greer runs towards us. Carbone trying to check back. Benyon was already in our half for some reason. And Messias hasn't done a great job tracking. Orich just got back there. Powell with a chance to clear it. He's taking his sweet time and shouldn't be. Messias clears it only as far as Corrie, which is a bit shambolic. Another corner. Cassup to take it. Going into the box. Can he pull off a miracle this time? Into the box. Not quite. Elamore heads it across for Carbone to Cassup. Cassup finds Powell. Cassup again. Connor Cassup scores just his second goal in 11 appearances in the league. But we are 2-0 up now, and Millwall cruising into the playoffs at exactly the right time all around. 10 minutes to go in this game, and we are looking pretty solid as these things go. So I cannot have any complaints. 2-0 is a good result. If it stays that way, it should stay that way, because I don't feel like anything big is about to happen for us or to us. We might even sneak a third goal, but it's unlikely. 5 minutes left to play in the added time. And we've got a highlight going. Castillo on the ball for Wrexham, out to Millard. Johnny can't quite get the tackle in here. He's looking to make something happen, but nothing is happening. Mitchell is through. Paul Mitchell scores for Wrexham, and it's offside anyway. It's about a minute left to play, so that's the final whistle, and it is Millwall 2, Wrexham 0. And somehow we're still not in the playoffs. Make that make sense, because we were before. There's a gap that is formed here that I don't like, and I don't want us to not be bridging it. So let's have one more game, one more match before the end of the stream, and then I'll see who is around for us to go and play with. Just having a little look now, in fact, to see who's around for us to play with, just to be on the safe side. Reasonable chance we are going to go and see the beautiful Mad, I would imagine, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Right, come on then. Let's crack out one more game. One more game on the stream. Farmer on form, of course he was. Good stuff. He's actually looked quite good since forcing me to pick him, considering he was really awful for us last season. He seems to have come into his own a touch. Let's give them 2 days off, and hopefully we'll get a result against Norwich, who I think are above us in the league table. So if we can get a result here, we will almost certainly be in the playoffs, I would imagine. Hopefully, touch wood, maths not done in advance. And all sorts of other disclaimery type things. You know how I go. Anyway. Oh, our youth facilities have finally been upgraded. Lovely stuff. That's going to help with the intake a little bit, hopefully, because our intake last year was not exactly breathtaking, bar the one player. And Norwich are up next. Norwich City. Who should be coming up any second now, would be the guess. And yes, for those wondering, I have just stuck in my head to go into the responsibilities page. I'm going to do it right now, whilst I remember. Delegate that. In fact, I'll delegate that to our assistant manager too. Don't know why I'm getting advice from a fitness coach when I've got an assistant manager. That seems unnecessary. Right, the man's clearly the guy to be doing these things. Leads team talks. Who is making suggestions of team talks? In fact, I haven't set up my corners either. Let me set up my corner routine while I remember. Have I set it up? I mean load it. That should probably help us get some goals too. Right, let's go to this match. Anything I want to change? Anyone back from injury or looking reasonably more fit? Let's put O'Neill in at right back just to give him a bit of a run out. Ajani there, just so I feel like I'm resting cover for left back. That should be good. Do I want Irasaki there? Do I want someone else there? It all looks pretty good. Right, let's go with that. Well, let's just check the table before we do that. Yeah, Norwich are top. So if we beat Norwich, we should be looking good for the rest of the season. That's the plan. Just a big game to end the stream on. Always a great shout. Always a great shout to end the stream on the biggest possible game. That's totally normal. Totally how that works. Right, sort that out. Address the team. Carry a last performance. Blah, 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 blah. And there we go. Good times all around. Get out there. Make a difference. Prepare. Kick off. All going magically is what we're saying. All going magically. And I'm sure good things about to come against the mighty perfect Norwich City. I say mighty perfect. I don't think they're actually on a perfect season. They are top of the league. They're not on a perfect season. Lincoln are on the course for an unbeaten season, which could be a thing for us to watch out for, as Connolly has a free kick against us for Norwich here at Carrow Road, and it's gone out for a corner as Al Mutairi is making big saves. I do like him as a goalkeeper already. I'm quite a big fan of what he's achieving. He seems to be getting to things that our other goalkeepers were incapable of. As that ball goes in, falls to Parks, who can't quite get there, to Goff. I'm not sure what the first name was. Irasoki on the ball now. Needs to find a nice ball through to a teammate. Ray to Banks. Ray was a little bit behind play there, so he couldn't really inject anything danger-wise, which unfortunately just do be happening sometimes. Right, Owen Evans to Maynard. Out wide for... I can't actually read that, that's not great. Nagate, I think it says. I'm sure it's not important. I'm sure it's far from important. Either way, we have not embarrassed ourselves yet. Is that Nagase? It's going to bother me. I can't read it, it's too small on the screen in front of me, which is not terribly helpful at all. But there we go. Encourage long shots again. Get ourselves a bit more forward thinking. In fact, let's go exact revenge on Norwich after our last experience against them. Grab these guys and give them a wee pointing at. Get your lives together, please, guys, and everyone go out there, make a difference, make us proud. Tactically, we're going to do the cutting down the amount of waste we have from our attacking players, because that feels like it's a good move, and we're going to hope for the best from this. Right, let's go with that. Second half underway, and we need one goal. I reckon next goal wins. This feels like a next goal wins kind of match, which, now I've said that out loud, does mean that we Norwich the score. They've just had a man injured, though. That could help us out. Just to play for set pieces, I don't hate that much at all. Let's get the ball into hopefully an attacking area, a dangerous area. Having a look and seeing right back and centre half are both issues for us right now, so that's not fully ideal. I might have to move O'Neill back to being a right back just to make him a bit more dangerous. In fact, I am going to have to do that because I have no other options. So Francis can go on at centre half. Banks can come off for Powell. Irasoki is nervous, so I guess he's being replaced by Messias. Sturrock off for Taylor, and Alamore has gone missing a little bit, but so has Orrit. So we're going to take a chance on our striker being able to get us a goal. If the support network he's got is slightly better, build the foundation and hope everything on top doesn't wobble is basically the mission here, and we're looking for goal number 1 of the game still, which is a bit troubling given everything. It's not helping us out in terms of our league position either, because we're currently down in 9th. with 10 minutes to go, Goff to Owen Evans. Well, you've managed to find a way back in, Riley. Well done. That's gone really well for you. And got you banned immediately by Simon. Good work. I was literally just about to do that. The second I said Riley, nobody ever moved so quick. Right, berate the boys. They've not done well here. Let's just do a quick change of Tacticarino. Swap things up a little bit just to get Messias up in the 10, and that should at least see that one out. And that is, well, going to be, unfortunately, a 1-0 defeat. So, unless, are we going to pull off a late miracle? It seems unlikely. It was unlikely. It was unlikely. That did not happen for us, did it? Well, that was bang on 4 o'clock as well. I said I was going to finish at 4, and at bang on 4 o'clock, good things are happening for us. Right, let's see who is live out in the universe. Have a quick double check. Is Kev just finishing? Let's have a quick check. A quick check around the doors. Is Kev just finishing? Very possibly not. I don't know. It hasn't loaded up for some reason. Unless he's literally just finished as I've done that. You know what? Let's risk it for a biscuit. We're going to go say hi to Kev. Because I rarely get a chance to raid into Kev. So it's nice to have that opportunity. But thank you all for being here. We'll see you on the other side. And as I said, might be back in a little while doing some reading and writing. I'll almost certainly be back later doing some retro. But for now, thank you very much for being here. I'm going to hit the raid button. And we shall see you all very, very soon. Love you all very much. See you later, Liam. I will have a good day. So should you, hopefully. See you all in the near future. Have a good one, pals and palettes. Have a good one.